What's up, guys? Flippin' Steve back with another video coming to you from... It doesn't matter! That's right, it doesn't matter where I'm coming to you from. What I want to know is where you guys are watching me from. So in the comments below, I want you guys to put your area code in the state that you're from. In fact, I want to make it a competition. I want to see where most of my viewers viewing this video today are from. All right? So all you guys from the same state, make sure you team up and get down there. We're going to get a count of where a lot of my viewers are coming from. Been doing some brainstorming on different ways to kind of maybe flip cards, or at least one different way that I want to experiment with. And I'm going to talk about that with you guys in this video. Also made an Instagram sale last night. Sending out the Aikman Emmett Dual Auto. Ever since I put this up for sale, got tons of interest. Got tons of interest at Culture Collision in my showcase. Landed a fair deal. Chris out there, I hope you enjoy your card. It will be mailed ASAP. Speaking of mailing, shout it from the rooftops. Found a couple leftover stickers from the channel. These things are old. I actually moved these from my old house. I'll throw one of these in. This box has actually been used multiple times. This box was shipped by someone else, then shipped to me with this label on it from Veriswap. I took that label off, and now I've printed a new label that's going to go back over this label. Waste not, want not. I'm almost feeling a personal attachment to this box. Not really. Chris, when you receive your card, if you sell a card, reuse this box. Keep it going. In there like swimwear. We got some FedEx. What are you doing? Better hurry up and get in here and get this food. Got the homemade delish. Get the homemade delish. You ready? I'm gonna have to make you some more today. We only got a little bit left. Ready to step out, take a ride, get a couple things from the stove. Downtown getting some local produce. Starting off with the broccoli. This here in the 302 is what we call scrapple. And many of you out there may have no idea what this is. But if you've ever had scrapple before, comment below. Tell me what your experience is with this meat product. Nope, 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 nope. We're at the local Target, but it's pretty much a dud here at the Target. Nothing too Target. Just some NBA poops, some Flux Sucks, some old Mosaic. So yeah, not really a whole lot. Target in the pharmacy section. I'm going to pick up a pack of the nitrile gloves, 50 pack. One size fits most. These are the gloves that I'll wear when I evaluating my raw cards for grading, so I don't get fingerprints and I can, touch my cards more liberally without worrying about getting smudges and stuff on them and then having to clean them up afterwards. So if you guys are curious, this is what I'm using. Make sure you get like powder free, like this, powder free. Don't go with the vinyl gloves. They're not very comfortable, or latex. These are the best ones to get. We all know one of the most common ways to increase the value of a card without the player's market actually being moved or something happening in the world of sports to affect a player's value is to just buy raw cards, good quality raw cards, and to have them graded and get good grades. It's not always as easy as it sounds, but if you're good at what you do, or if you're accurate and got a good eye for grading, it is a way to increase the value of your cards without anything else having to happen. This isn't going to hurt much. I think that might be in question on this Firestorm Gold Kyle Pitts out of 10 is this back upper right corner, which looks good to the naked eye, but when you get it under magnification, you can see a little bit of whitening. But we'll see what the grader thinks on this one. This grades out. I'll take this to Cards HQ because they'd be falling for that Atlanta Fool's Gold down there. Everything on this Josh Allen Mythical Black Pandora out of 25 looks really good. Centering is actually a little bit off, but it might pass the PSA eye test. This card, amazing under the light. This card has a potential to be a banger, and it actually was listed by the sellers near mint to mint or better, and it had to go through eBay authentication, so eBay should have cleared it by condition as well. Front of this card is really clean. Feeling really good about it. The back also. The only centering issue is the back, left to right, but it's not really enough, I don't think, to affect the grade. Got to check these select cards for print lines, and the print lines look, pretty clean or non-existent. One thing I typically hate to do is remove a card from the Panini seal, meaning it was mostly a redemption, because a lot of times people will respect the fact that it's sealed and untouched. However, this card, I can't tell if this blemish here is on the surface of the card or on the case or on the inside of the case. And that'll be something that somebody points out to me if I try to sell this to them raw, and we just won't know. So there's only one way to find out. Guys, and all it was a little piece of fuzz inside the case. I already wiped it off with my finger before I even turned the camera back on. And this card looks great. See, so glad that I popped this open and got that fuzz off, because that would have been a debate between me and somebody who would be interested in this card. This card actually appears to be flawless. But it's a Contenders. By the way, I almost forgot. My magnifier, this LED light magnification tool, it's also rechargeable. It's made by Magnipros. So there you go. I got mine on Amazon, not affiliated, don't have a link. But a lot of people have asked me, and I've tried to respond in the comments, and it just becomes lengthy to respond. So it comes with this bag, Magnipros, and it says magnipros.com. So for all you guys that asked me out there, that's the one that I use, and that's what you can look up, I guess, to find one. However, that is not going to be the main topic of today's video. Today's video is actually pertains to the package that I just got from FedEx, and it's a card that I bought, and I'm going to try to almost resell instantly as an experiment to see what happens when you buy on a platform that gets less engagement for certain cards and then put on a bigger platform that gets a lot more eyes on these types of cards. I give you guys a couple of my thoughts and a couple theories, and they may be wrong and they may be right. Like, again, this is just a test and I'm going to be the guinea pig. Uh-oh, we got a package notification. Medical ad, who cares? Car insurance, who cares? Sports card, let's go. Take a look at this later in the video. Rewind back to when the FedEx envelope came in, and I was talking about this, what this video was going to be about. A LeBron James Spectra Solar Eclipse in a PSA 9. I believe it's a Pop 7 with 3 higher. One thing I'll never understand about PWCC is that this card was in this envelope, which was in this envelope, which was in this cardboard, which was then in this cardboard. However, the slab itself is not in a slab bag. They stick their label on the back, they put it in the package. I luckily have one of my own. I always keep these stock, so actually it's not lucky. I am just prepared to keep my slab safe from getting scratches. So now what I do want to get into is one of the, I don't want to say secret ways, but one of the ways that I'm finding that you can get some really good value on some cards and almost resell them immediately because of the price that you're buying cards for, or these cards for. And I'm going to talk about buying on other auction platforms. Now, I don't have much experience with Heritage or Pristine or Golden, but I see their comps. One auction house that I have been using is PWCC. And again, I'm not affiliated with any of these people because I want to be able to talk freely about the things that they suck at, but I also want to be able to talk about the things that I find beneficial. I believe on PWCC, there's lots of cards within a certain price ballpark that fall through the cracks. And that's because PWCC is known for their premier auction. And the premier auction is very high-end items. And they draw big money, and they draw big attention, and they draw lots of eyes to those items. Speaking of high-end, we're cooking up Crazy Daisy's dog food as we do the video. Little ground beef. Gonna need some sweet potatoes. Gonna need some corn. And gonna need some brown rice. I like to talk about the importance of engagement and the amount of eyes that you get on the product, and that's always a positive. That's why eBay is usually your best auction house. But a lot of times it's the eyes that are seeing it. And a lot of the eyes on these other auction sites are going there specifically for big ticket items. And I'm going to say your items from $1,000 and down typically don't get as many views as they would on a site like eBay. So when people tend to go to an auction house like PWCC with their items to sell, they're not necessarily getting the right demographic of buyer that is willing to buy cards, what they would consider to be lower end from $1,000 and down. And then a lot of people that are looking in that ballpark from $100 to $500 to $1,000 are on eBay and not paying attention to some of the value that's over there on PWCC. Honestly, that's really the only way that I can explain that some of the deals that I've gotten over there. And again, I am not all for pro WCC, and I'm not trying to pump their auction house. In fact, this does not help me at all. This just brings more attention to the fact that there might be deals over there, and it's just going to be more competitive for me to buy. But I've never really been one to withhold information from you guys who come to view my channel and listen to things that I have to say. A couple videos ago, I actually showed that LeBron James card that I just won off a PWCC auction, And I told you guys that I was going to put in a bid for that card. And you guys know I'm not one of those content creators who like to talk a lot of shit about things that I would like to do or want to do for the sake of putting out content. I'm one of those people that actually do it, and then I show you what I'm doing. Some sweet potatoes in there. Actually, what I did was I looked up some of the recent comps on eBay of what that LeBron James card was selling for once I saw it on PWCC, and I saw where a PSA 7 had just did over $700, a BGS 9 had just did over $900, and a raw copy had actually did over $1,100, and all within this year, all since January. And remember, the pops on these are very low, so there's not going to be a lot of sales, but there have been enough to gauge the market on kind of what the value of that PSA 9 would be. So I head over to PWCC, I saw that auction, I said, you know what? I'm going to stick a $900 bid in here, and I'm going to let it ride. I'm not going to pay attention. I'm not going to get caught up with impulse. I'm going to put my bid in, and I'm going to let it go and see what happens. If I lose, then it's meant to be, and I'm not overpaying for a card, you know, when I know what a certain value of it is on the eBay marketplace. But if I can get it under the eBay value, then simply I could just move it to the eBay platform and resell it. And what happened was, I did not get outbid. I won that card at an $850 bid in a PSA 9, which holds more liquidity and a slightly bit more value than a BGS 9 that went at over $900. So again, to me, it just made sense because I felt like, okay, there's no risk. Worst case scenario, I take this, I put it on eBay, and I put it at auction, get more eyes on the type of card from the type of people who buy these types of card on eBay, and it's a better card. And all I got to do is clear eBay fees, right? If I clear eBay fees, then I'm home free. If I come in a little bit slow, then and take a loss, then I take a loss. But to me, it's kind of worth the risk or worth the gamble here. It's just kind of my mindset, and I don't want to tell anybody out there to go out there and do it because you got to put your money into it and to see if it's going to work. And I don't want you guys risking money like that. But for me, it's something that I'm going to try out. And interestingly enough, before I wrap this video up, I'm going to show you on 130 point another thing that's actually helpful for this situation. Michael Ham, can of peas. Does anybody else remember the can of peas reference from the National this year? I just thought about it. I can actually put "Now We're Cooking" in the title of my thumbnail, and it's not even clickbait. All we got to do to round out Daisy's delish here, you can actually remove it from the heat, drop this egg in, and the heat from the food will actually cook that egg up. And the best part about making Daisy's dog food is I can eat it too. Stop by 130 point for a quick second because this is something that I noticed or haven't noticed. Have you noticed this quickly yet? Here are the 3 sales that I actually quoted earlier on the comps. $11.25 for a raw copy, BGS 9, $9.75 on eBay, PSA 7, $7.09 on eBay. What's missing, guys? What is missing from this comp list? My purchase. PWCC auctions tend to hit 130 point way later than the sale date. I've already had the card in my possession for 2 days, and I won the auction on the 18th. So it got to me fairly quickly, and I've already had time to sell it without my PWCC comp actually posting. Mail was this Tom Brady Airborne from Panini, Rookies and Stars, Longevity Parallel, Gem Mint 10 Pop 5, only $32. I mean, who says that you can't buy cool looking nice slabs nowadays, you know, for cheap? Thanks for joining me in my kitchen today, guys, where we got to talk some cards. If you enjoyed any portion of this, hit the like button on your way out. And if you don't like, it's all Daisy's fault.